Okay, so this is my attempt at making a jockey box. I'm going to start by cleaning up my cooler here. I've got my holes marked. I'm going to make a spot for the pass-throughs, or the shanks, and we're going to go from there. So I'm going to drill out a pilot hole, then I'm going to take a keyhole saw, put that through there, and kind of cut it all out. So give me just a minute here, I'll do some of the cuts and we'll go from there. Alright, so there's my pilot hole, and I have to admit that I truly don't know what I'm doing. I've kind of put all this together through what I've seen online and read in forums. Doesn't seem to be much to it other than the hardware that you get. So now I'm going to grab my 1-inch circle bit, I don't know what to call it, and we'll cut that out and go from there. Alright, so I got my 1-inch bit on there. I think the reality of it was that my wall shank was actually about, what would it be, like just about 3/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit bigger. I'm going to do a 1-inch. Anything that I have left over, I'm actually just going to fill in with like a silicone or some sort of foam insulation. But again, what I'll do is I'll start and I'll drill about halfway through on one side, come back around on the inside and get the other half here, as long as my drill will actually go through it. That's kind of what I thought. So I'm just going to punch it all the way through here. And that's a hole. What I'll do is I'll repeat this process on the back as well, because I've got another wall shank that'll go through on the back side. And that, I think I'm going to wait on that one just to see how the positioning of everything comes up, see how I want that coming out of there. But for now, that's where we'll start. I'm going to clean them up here and go from there. Alright. Okay, so I got my hole drilled, as you saw, and I've got my beer shank here. This is going to be the faucet side. My hole's, like I said, just going to be a little bit too big, so I might come back and fill that in with something else just to re-insulate it. But for the most part, I'm not really too concerned about it. Most of the cooling is going to be done on the chill plate, so I'll go ahead and insert this now. And I've got a hex nut that goes on the back side here, along with some hose fittings. We've got a washer. It's going to go into here, just like that. And so basically, my hose barbs, washer. I'm going to put my hex nut on. I'm going to twist this a little bit so you can see what's going on. So, place this on here first. I'm sorry. Okay, run that down. That's just going to be a hand tightening right now. I'll come back through with a wrench in a little bit here. And see if I can get this threaded straight. Okay. And I'll grab a wrench and get that all fitted up. Cool. Okay, so I got this wall shank completely in. I've got my tap here, my faucet. It can go onto here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to put my chill plate in there and see how exactly I'm going to have it oriented so that I can get my rear drilled and hopefully get it all hosed up and put together. Kind of go from there. Okay, so I've chosen my location for the rear shank here, and it's going to go essentially just in the middle in the rear. I had no particular reason. I looked at the way that everything was going to set up, and you know it's all going to work because I'm using hoses and a chill plate. I suppose if I was using coils, I would be more restricted on where I could put stuff. So I'm going to just make it so that when I add a second one here in the future, I can just have it pretty much in the middle, and there's really no rhyme or reason to it. So again, I'm going to drill a pilot hole in the back here. Even though I'm not coming through on both sides, it'll just help me put my second hole in here a bit easier. And again, because I can't fit my drill in this way, I am just going to punch it all the way through on one. Quick and easy. From here, I'm going to clean this up a little bit, get some of this out of here, and put my wall shank through there, and we'll be all set. Alright. Alright, so with the rear shank in here, I'm going to go ahead and just tighten everything up. It is just kind of a matter of doing one at a time, making sure that everything is snug. As long as it doesn't leak, I'm really not too worried about it being too tight or too loose. I don't like the way it looks if it dents in, so I try to just keep it flush. Everything here looks good. Again, if in the future I decide that it's for some reason not cooling all that well, I'll come back and I'll put a little bit of silicone around these hex nuts here. I just don't think it's going to be necessary. I think it's going to cool enough through the chill plate. So what I have right now, just so everybody can see it, is the chill plate and all my fittings. I'm going to clean it up and then start connecting all the hoses and all that stuff so everybody can see the finished product as well. Alright, so the problem that I'm running into right now is I bought the wrong size hose, or I thought I had extra at home, and it's not the right size. I wasn't quite sure what I had. So I'm going to wait till tomorrow, finish it up, but for now, I mean, it's pretty much going to be all in place. Plate chiller here in the bottom. Get the hose run through there tomorrow, and that's really all I have for it. And if you can look inside here, that's kind of going to be the setup. I don't have two taps running right now, so I'll just cap the one, and I might even loop it. Yeah, I was told that's unnecessary, but I'd rather loop it than have it go just unused. Why not? I mean, it just takes a little bit of extra hose. So for now, this is what I've got. Everything is going to be set up really well tomorrow, and it's quick and easy. It took me about 15 minutes to do all the cutting. I spent about $71, or about $80 total on all the fittings. I got the plate used on Craigslist. I think I spent 60 bucks on that. Probably overpaid a little bit, but it was worth it to me because I wanted to get this done in one weekend. And that's it. The cooler I already had, so I just used something that was around. The only thing I might add to this is something to raise the plate chiller up, and also a drain or a spigot on here. This model of Igloo cooler that I just had around the house doesn't have any sort of a spigot, so I might throw that on there just so I can empty out the water. Everything I've heard, which isn't much, is that you want this to not be submerged in water, but rather ice. So I'll try to do my best with that and make it somewhat easier for me to get rid of water. And it might even just be as simple as putting a hole in here. Again, the majority of it's going to be cooled. It will just have a leak. So, alright, that's it for now. And tomorrow I'm going to finish this up and see what happens when I get it all piped up, clean up everything, run some PBW through the chill plate, considering I bought it on Craigslist. So I want to make sure that's clean. Run sanitizer through the whole system, and then I should be ready. The other issue that I'm having too is just making sure that everything's nice and tight so that it doesn't spin around. Teflon tape or something like that, nylon tape, whatever it is, plumber's tape, just to hold things in place so they don't spin. And that's what a nice little bead of silicone in there would do for me too. It would just kind of hold things. So that's all I have. See you tomorrow.